To put bill together and put it on the floor of the Senate. We need him to act now for the sake of millions of New Yorkers and tens of millions of Americans.
We ought to be passing a recovery bill. Now, what's a recovery bill? A recovery bill would be lifting the taxes and the regulations that are hammering small businesses so that people can go back to work. A recovery bill would suspend the payroll tax, which would give a pay raise to everyone in America who's working. That actually gets people back to work.
They're in disarray, and that delay is causing suffering for America's families. So we have been ready for 2 months and 10 days. I've been here all weekend hoping they had something to give us. They promised it this week. It didn't come. Now they're saying Monday.
Our goal is to give you 70% of the money you lost by being unemployed, not to give you a pay raise in unemployment. We've got to fix that.
So what's next? On WOKV's Washington Insider, Jamie Dupree breaks it all down for us. Jamie?
Jeremy, Republicans will try again this week to roll out a new $1 trillion coronavirus relief plan in the U.S. Senate, though there are a lot of signs that the GOP may need help from Democrats. Top White House officials spent the weekend in GOP talks on Capitol Hill about the plan, which was supposed to have been unveiled last Thursday by Republicans. But differences over the details have slowed work by the GOP on a package which should include another round of direct checks to Americans, as it's not clear what Republicans can actually get through the U.S. Senate in coming weeks.
Meanwhile, Jamie is breaking down what's on tap for President Trump today as well. Jamie?
Jeremy, President Trump will get to highlight work on a vaccine for the coronavirus as he travels today to North Carolina. But it's also a reminder of how the virus outbreak has pretty much ended his normal campaign schedule. The president had tried to restart his campaign rallies with a stop in Oklahoma last month, but after the low attendance there and a canceled campaign rally...
Yeah. As they are on the dock. So enjoy a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar, wherever you are.
All offers have been approved for independent conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Summer clearance event. We love what we do, and you're gonna love it too, because our biggest sale of the year is on at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Want to drive the biggest, baddest new pickup out there? Then you need a Ram truck. Drive yours today and save up to $10,000 off MSRP. Get 0% for 72 months. Plus, make no monthly payments for 90 days. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, 9600 Atlantic Boulevard.
The Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens invites you to come take a moment to experience art, nature, and culture. The museum has reopened with several new safety features, including limited capacity in the galleries, time ticket admission, hand sanitizer throughout the campus, and expanded daily cleaning. Advanced reservations are required, including for free admission days, which include every Tuesday and Friday from 4 to 9 p.m., and this Saturday, August 1st. Learn more and book your visit at cummermuseum.org. Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from HomeAdvisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to HomeAdvisor's approval and terms. Valid for new HomeAdvisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 US only.
Why get out of your car when you can sit right there with Tijuana Flats curbside pickup? Just order ahead, pull up, and drive away with Tex-Mex. Incredible! Fresh, fast, right to your car. Order now on the app or at TijuanaFlats.com. Summer is here, and so is road trip season. Get your car ready at Tire Kingdom. The tires buy 3, get 1 free with paid standard installation. Now through August 2nd, use your store credit card and get special financing for 12 months on purchases of $500 or more. You're ready. Get your car ready. Get to Tire Kingdom. Eligibility may vary. Charge for tires. Smells on the TPMS service per required. New tire fee where applicable. Shop fee of 10% based on regular retail price. Not to exceed $35. Credit card offer is subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See participating store for details.
We're turning up the heat on our biggest sale of the year at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. All new Ram trucks are sale priced up to $10,000 off MSRP. Make no monthly payments for 90 days. Get 0% financing. Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Everything must go. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. We're clear on the mouth. I-295 and Baker. Meadows.
This week at Macy's, no matter how you school, we're getting you ready with 40 to 75% off essentials like backpacks, outfits, and more. Plus, get 25% off your favorite active looks, including select Nike for the whole family. Going on now at Macy's. And get contact-free curbside pickup at select locations. Find a location near you at Macys.com/stores.
Jack's forecast is muggy and mild this morning with temperatures starting in the mid to low 70s. Under partly cloudy skies, those temperatures do not last. We race through the 70s and 80s, making it up to around 90 degrees by your lunch hour and topping out around 93, prompting 60% chances for afternoon showers and thunderstorms to fire up between 3 and 6 p.m., starting out along I-95 and White ending. I'm News4Jax meteorologist Rebecca Berry. We're tracking decreasing chances for rain and increasing temperatures this week tonight on News4Jax at 5 and anytime on the News4Jax Weather Hurry app.
This report is sponsored by Campers in RV. Time for a summer spruce up on your RV. Campers in RV has 4 locations in Northeast Florida and Southern Georgia to serve you. With the area's largest service centers and most certified RV techs on staff, we'll be happy you chose them. Visit campersin.com today.
Elvis Duran and the Kiss FM Morning Show brought to you by Anajar and Levine. In an accident, call the law firm of Anajar and Levine. 904-600-4000. 904-600-4000.
More Elvis Duran coming up on Kiss.
Make sure you answer it. It's from an 833 number, okay? 833-917-2880. Answer it. The person calling you from that number is likely to let you know that you might have been exposed to COVID-19. Very important you pick up the call. Again, it's an 833-917 number, so make sure you pick it up. Also, oh my God, Daniel is crushed. Universal Orlando announced Friday they're canceling Halloween Horror Night.
For a lung transplant over the weekend, his medical team says it was successful. That announcement came just a day after Hazuri, who is 75, led a city council workshop meeting regarding the now canceled Republican